Joining us to continue the conversation is Jim Fuda, the Executive Director of Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound. And Jim, we really want to talk more about what people can do in situations like this. We know that Crime Stoppers has spent a lot of time studying situational awareness during an active shooter situation. Why is it important for people to remain aware of their surroundings?
Well, consider every large gathering has the potential for some bad actor to come in and do some harm to people. And you look at our stats today. Just in 2025 alone, as of up today, we've had 261 mass shootings in the United States. And what that is described as 4 or more people being injured or killed and discarding the shooter. So 251 people have been killed and over 1,000 people have been injured. So it's something that we need to be aware of. And that's just the shootings. We've got the stabbings that just happened. We saw that happen back east this last week. And then, cars driving into people that we've seen, in New Orleans and other places. So, you could be at a Saturday market and some incidents could happen. So to be aware of your surroundings means to look for exits. How do you feel safe? If something should happen, where could I run to that I could keep me and my family safe?
Yeah, I mean, you pointed this out. When an active shooter situation happens, I think the first instinct for all of us is to run. Are there things that we should evaluate if we find ourselves in the middle of something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to make yourself a target either. If you can evaluate and think about how far away are those shots coming, and can I run? Do I have an exit? And if that's the case, you run as far away till you don't hear those shots, or you run to the police that are responding to this situation. And if you feel you can't, then it comes time to hide. Let's say you're in a mall and you're in a store. There's things as concealment and cover. Concealment, it means you can just hide. It won't stop a bullet. And cover means that it would stop a bullet. So you find yourself a place to hide and you stay in that location until you're rescued by the police. And then if it comes down to it, in that situation where the suspect is real close to you, you might have to fight. And that, like I said, that will be the fight of your life. And you find whatever weapon you can. And maybe it's more than you helping overtake that shooter.
Yeah, we saw pictures of people stacking furniture in the office in that New York incident to block the door, which is just one of those flight or fight responses. So why should we trust our gut in these situations?
Well, just if you feel something's amiss, if you see a suspicious package left near you, or a suspicious person that doesn't look right, let's say it's like the weather is so hot out now and he's wearing a trench coat kind of thing and acting weird, separate yourself. As we always say, there's no harm in a false alarm. Just get yourself out of that environment and report it to someone. Like, say, if you're in a mall, you might tell a security guard, hey, there's someone acting funny in this particular store or hallway or wherever it might be.
Jim, New York's mayor and the police union both praised the quick response of officers during the most recent attack. Tell us a bit about some of the active shooter training that law enforcement take part in.
Sure. We always remember from Columbine what happened there, and that is the incident that changed how police respond to active shooter incidents. That back then they set a perimeter, waited for SWAT, and while that was happening, people were being killed. So every officer goes through active shooter training, meaning 2 or more arrive to an active shooter scene, they hear shots fired, they go in, they bypass the injured, and they go directly to the threat to neutralize that threat that's causing harm to people. So that's all changed. Every officer in the United States goes through that particular training, and then like I said, they go directly to the shooter to take care of the situation.
There's so much to be aware of and to know, Jim. Thank you so much for joining us with all these tips.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.